Welcome, y'all. Welcome. This is my boy Savon. Savon. Hey, this is crazy. This is crazy because Savon used to be somebody who used to always come over when I was younger at my old crib. He was real close friends with my big brother Adam. But
yes, sir.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Savon. I hope all is well.
Yep.
My man's a basketball coach, I think. What grade?
13, so 7th, 8th grade.
That's what's up. How's life been treating you, man?
It's been good, man. It's been good. Really no complaints.
Man, no complaints. Good. Always, my mom always said, like, you complain, God gonna give you something more to complain about.
You're not here to complain.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want to complain no more.
There's no reason to, man. Either, take care of what's under your control and gotta help you with the rest.
You take care of the rest. I love that, man. I just find it interesting, like, I like bringing up the Quran, but, like, there's a chapter in the Quran, it's like the pen, al-qalam. Basically, I don't know, like, kind of resembles to me, like, how God works through you. Like, me, when I'm doing my poetry and stuff, like, when I'm writing, a lot of times, I'm not saying God is writing for me, but a lot of times the stuff that we do, a lot of stuff, the things that we produce, comes from a higher source.
No, definitely. And I mean, you writing, same thing I be writing, like, that's just love, bro. God is love. So I feel like that's the feeling that you're getting, is that you're able to write and you want to write to give it to somebody else. That's love. It's not keeping it to yourself. So
that part right there. A lot of people want to keep the gems to themselves. Like, I don't know why. Like, a lot of times, I don't know. I just look around and the people who are like making, big bucks. Like, I don't know why they just never want to tell us how they do it. They just say, manifest it in your mind. But I don't know. I just feel like people are not really showing us how to, like, overcome, so that's what this whole, like, podcast today is going to be about. But before I get into that, I just want to ask Savon some questions, because I know who Savon is, but this is for people who don't know who Savon is. But it's a very inspiring fellow, like, I really mean that. So first off, where were you born, like, born and raised?
I was born in San Francisco, at USF Hospital. My mom was working at the hospital too, so born at SF, was raised out in Oakland. All my family was in Oakland. You
went to Oakland Tech, or you went to Skyline, but didn't you? I went
to Skyline first and then transferred 10th grade because I was.
I want to know what happened. That's why everyone. Yeah, that's why I was. So Gerald, I don't know if y'all know who Gerald is, but Gerald was supposed to show up today for my podcast, but he got busy. But he was like, Savon went to Tech. I was like, no, he didn't. And I'm like, you went to Tech?
I did.
What happened,
I was ineligible, 9th grade. So when you go from Laurel to Bret Harte to Skyline, it's like literally in a line. Like, everybody that went from Laurel goes to Bret Harte, then they go to Skyline. So when I got to Skyline,
that was a cycle.
It was just like, damn. Like, I got this much freedom. I know everybody, like, I wasn't really worried about, school. I was having fun, to be honest. And I didn't end up, I'm a basketball player, so I didn't end up playing that year. It was honestly, like, school-wise, academically, it wasn't a good year, but, like, far as friends and being in high school, like, it was fun. But, it cost me not being able to hoop, so I transferred to Tech, 10th grade, and ended up getting on honor roll and, doing what I was supposed to do 9th grade, so, we live and learn.
That's interesting, because my podcast yesterday was about decision making, and that the decisions we make won't have, like, can have permanent effects, in our future. So that's pretty crazy. Like, just like living proof that our decisions really influence our future. But, like, at the end of the day, I feel like if you're a man or woman of God, at the end of the day, like, everything is meant to happen. So, like, I also brought up yesterday, don't regret over your past, because your past is just like a better pathway to your future. So it's all about your perspective. So I appreciate you breaking that down.
Sure.
So I want to know about your family. You gotta give them a shout out. So moms, dads, family.
My grandmother. My mom was definitely a big piece. My grandmother and my great grandmother. I feel like they taught me, or they showed me, with love and empathy and having compassion on people or for people. Being givers. They love cooking and they're not cooking for themselves. So that's a giver. And my great grandmother, I was raised in Brookfield, and she was like the food lady. Everybody came and bought food from her. And it was always this old dude. He was less fortunate. I don't want to call him a bum, but he was homeless. But everybody knew him. He grew up in the same neighborhood, but she knew he had no money, and she always gave him food. And that's something that always stuck with me. Like, my grandmother, my great grandmother, like, she didn't have hella money like that. She sold nachos and ice cream and burgers and stuff for like $2-3. That's not really making no money for real. But she was able to, you know, make enough to be able to give to the less fortunate, you know. And I feel like, you know, as I grew up and I was trying to figure out, you know, myself, when I'm learning myself, I started to understand, like, I got that from her. And my actual grandmother that's still here on earth, the same way, you know, just, you know, we always give people second chances, third chances, you know, like, you know, just even if they do us wrong, it's just like having that heart, having that love in your heart, you know, you'll give them another chance because you want to see somebody doing good. You want to, you know, want to be able to help somebody. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, you know, just like learning that.
That's what he says. You wish for your neighbor what you wish upon yourself. And I feel like, man, yeah, you speaking facts, brother. Seriously, it's just crazy because like it's one thing when you hear it, but it's a different thing when you feel it. Like these words resonate because this is like the whole purpose of my podcast, to show that like the way we live in, it's, I don't know, I'm not saying it's reverse or backwards, but it's being modified by a secret power. And we need brothers like you and just good people in general, just to realize the importance of family and everything they did for us to be here at this very moment.
Exactly.
Because, like, I forgot who said it, was a famous person, said the worst thing you could do is be at your deathbed with all your dreams just looking at you. Like, you know, they always say don't die with your dreams, die pursuing them. Yeah. So, yeah, it's beautiful, man. All right, so next question. Wait, siblings? You got siblings?
I got a little brother.
Little brother? Oh, is that
he bigger than both of us. But he's 15.
So he's the little ones. I don't know what they be eating. I don't know what in they milk, but
he's huge, man. He like 6'1", 6'2", 250. He play varsity football for Castlemont. That's my little bro.
Oh, he played for Castlemont. I used to hate playing against Castlemont. First concussion I ever had in football.
For real?
My head hurts.
Playing hard.
It was like they literally targeting you. Like I was just. Yeah, I was playing linebacker. I wasn't the best, but I was a middle linebacker. I played a lot of special teams. I was just a body. But one thing about me, I swear to God, like Coach Wilson was, I think his name is Coach Wilson, was a linebacker coach for Skyline. I remember he came up to me while I was all doing gassers. I swear to God, he came up to me. He's like, you might not be the most talented one out of everybody here, but I swear to God, he's like, you have the most heart. To this day, I'm never gonna forget him. That meant so much to me. And when he said that to me, I had a knee brace and I was like pushing, and that's just the type of person I am. Like even if I'm not the most talented person, God gave me health, so I'm gonna push, you know.
That effort, man. You can't teach that effort. You can't teach that heart, bro. And that's like Draymond. Draymond not the most skilled.
Everybody hate Draymond though. Everybody be getting us slack, man. Everybody getting us slack.
That's because if you're looking at the game, basketball, especially now, is like score. You know, like who's the all-star, who's the superstar, you know, but who's the glue? You know, like, and they like to say, oh yeah, without Steph Curry, there's no Draymond. Without Draymond, there's no, you know, like, it's not like there's no Steph Curry. Like, Curry is always going to be who Curry is, and Draymond will be that.
It's always going to be who he is.
But just playing the role of, I'm going to pass you the ball, I'm going to play hard on defense, I'm going to bring the energy. You know, he accepted his role, and sometimes you gotta accept your role, and just you might not be the best. You just gotta bring the effort, you gotta bring the energy.
I ain't gonna ask the gym right there. Accept the role, or like accept your role. I feel that's what maybe that's an issue. Like we're not satisfied with our role. But at the end of the day, it's not about your role. It's about the end picture. It's about everything coming together to get that W.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
That's what it's
say one with the ball.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. All right, this question is gonna be a little more deeper. So, how was it being Savon, growing up in a city where opportunities are hard to find? Like let me add that, like I don't want to make it all a race thing, but like being African American, you know, we all grew up with those stereotypes, so you're not gonna be nobody and set up for failure. So what you think?
Man, bro, I mean, I felt it, of course, because I'm a black man. But at the same time, my upbringing was actually pretty smooth. Amen. You know, besides like I would say my family, you know, like that's the foundation, you know. Nobody in my family graduated college, you know. Some didn't even graduate high school. So I feel like, you know, like my dad was actually a pretty big part in that, taking me to Boston and New York and Atlanta, like showing me different things.
Shout out to
and
Pops.
we used to walk places, and just for people that don't understand, when you walk, you're more grounded. You know, you appreciate things.
What do you mean when you walk, like just traveling the
like
world,
you're walking around,
like literally just walking around,
like walking. We used to be in the city, walking up hills and walking here, walking there.
Okay.
And that makes you, because you're observing everything around you. You know, when you're in the car, you're just flying by. You know, you don't get time to actually look around. And so I feel like my dad played a big, probably the greatest part in it.
Wow.
By us walking around and just I feel like it brings humility out of you. You know, like to understand that he got money to get a car if he wanted to. He probably had a car, you know, but let's walk here, you know, like to show me things, and then let's travel here. So I feel like if it wasn't for him, I probably would have been one of these people that's on the block selling drugs because I wouldn't have knew no better. So at a young age, he showed me, you know, he gave me things, and I feel like he made it easier on me, you know, growing up, because I thought early on I was thinking outside of the box. You know, like I wasn't in, you know, just our regular, you know, light, you know, or darkness, because it really it's not much light. It's kind of whatever you make it. But even like movies wise, like I watched Terminator. I watched
Terminator go crazy.
Yeah, like I didn't watch Belly. Like Belly is like the money, guns, and respect, like money, power, respect type thing.
The whole principle aspect, the whole system behind it.
Yes, it's the system.
I feel it.
You know, I wasn't watching that. I wasn't watching the Shadas and, you know, like the black movies. I was watching like one man help save everybody, like the Bruce Lee movies, or not Bruce Lee, Bruce Willis. You know, he'll be that one dude, and he's, you know, like all the bad dude, he just taking him out.
You talking about Bruce Willis, that dude who showed that one famous punch?
The white dude.
Oh, the white dude. Who made that one famous, the fighting movies, the Street Fighter, but he was like fighting in the ring. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna post it up.
He played in an Italian Job too.
He's still alive today too,
He's
right?
still alive.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He had short hair. He was low key
I
blonde.
want to say he was bald. He might be bald. I had to show you him, but
he was dope though. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I kind of just grew up on that, and a lot of my friends like, oh, you wasn't watching Belly, but it makes sense to why they act the way that they act. You know, and my favorite movie is actually A Bronx Tale. Have you seen that movie?
Wait, you talking about with Bruce?
Colosio? No,
Jackie Chan?
No,
that's Bronx of New York. Never mind.
No.
I talking Bronx of New York.
But basically, it's a kid. All his friends are like, they in the streets, they terrorize, but they're Italian. They're Italian.
Italian.
They in New York. You know, it's like a race thing going on, but the main character.
But his dad was a bus driver.
His dad was a bus driver.
I know you're talking about. He got in trouble in real life. I heard he's in jail for life.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, I saw my mom's when I told me he actually committed murder at a club. Or I'm not lying. Like my mom, I searched it up. Like he basically became what he was in the movie.
No, that's crazy. But that was my movie, and that guy, his name was Colosio. He was a kid that all his friends would do all the bad shit, but he would be the one that was trying to help everybody. You know, like when they was out fighting against, because it was like a race thing going on too, he would be the one that's trying to pick the dudes up, like see if they okay, or trying to hurry up and get back home. You know, he never hit nobody, never did none of the bad stuff, but all his friends was like that.
Did he get in trouble because he was dating that African American lady?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I know what you're talking about.
So I feel like even that movie, if anybody's seen that movie, they will understand like that dude basically was like the middleman. Like he was actually trying to be cool with everybody, you know, just his friends that was like on bullshit, you know. But as in real life, it's like that too. Like you asked me how my upbringing was, I could have took the because I'm around the same type of people. You know, we growing up with people that's fighting shit all the time. I wasn't one of them. I was actually the kid that was like, oh no, it's good, bro. Like we don't even got to do that. Of course, you know, we get into altercations, shit like that, but I wasn't trying to start nothing with nobody, bro. I was trying to just enjoy my time in school, hoop, get good grades, and keep
he hell of a hooper though. Savon used to be big chubby though. I'm not even gonna lie, just looking at him right now, he's like skinny, bro. Like Savon was, I don't know how much you weighed when you was like first hooping with my brother. Like,
I was big, bro. I was big.
I think big's an understatement, bro. He was like, but he was hitting them threes. He was moving.
I was big, bro. I was 160 in the 6th grade, to the point my grandpa is a young grandfather. Like he still be traveling around playing golf. He was like, he seen me when I was in 6th grade. He seen I was hella big. I was 180 in 6th grade. He was like, you want to race? I'm like, no, I don't want to race. Like, trying to make fun and shit. But I was big, bro, for sure.
But you was active, though. He would play the whole game. I'll be watching my brother, but Savon will be drenched, bro. Like, jersey all drenched, but Savon still hitting them. Hey, I suck at basketball, bro. I got the hustle, though.
Nah, for sure.
Man. It was a pleasure watching him play, though, because it was hella fun watching you play, bro. Like, you was like, everything you explaining also... Everything you're explaining also displayed in the way you play basketball. Like, you kind of like involved everybody. Like, there's always that hooper who just be hogging. Like, you know what? He used to feed the ball, and I'm like, okay, Savon, okay.
Oh, definitely, man.
All right, so thank you for answering that question. Next one is: do you believe the color of your skin influenced how you perceived yourself? Not how others perceived yourself, but how you perceived yourself. Or did you believe it created any obstacles in your quest to become your best self?
I'm answering all those or just one of those?
I feel like we like being African American. You automatically are born with less of an opportunity and things against you, but you can't really use that. It's really how you move. I feel like it's how you look at yourself, and if you know yourself, and if you feel like, because there's a lot of successful African American people. It's a lot of successful people, period, of all colors. And I really I wasn't looking at no race stuff. Like, you're Arab, you're Yemen. Alex and Dylan and all them dudes, they're white guys. They was my best friends.
Alex Dylan, we goes
that went to Bret Hart with us. Yeah.
Damn.
Those was white dudes. They was my guys. Like, there
was no such thing as race.
It was no such thing as that, bro. So it just like I wasn't moving like that, and I feel like the energy you put out is what you receive. So if I'm not looking at it like using that excuse, because I'm black, I'm not getting this, or if I'm black, you can't use that. You got to try to change the narrative.
You create the narrative.
You got to change the language. You just got to change, period. Or you just don't live in that light.
He's changing the language. I ain't gonna lie, he just said something right there. It kind of hit my ear. He said change the language, because our language is all messed up right now.
Bad, bro.
And it's funny that he just brought that up, because when I was at Bret Hart, I used to hang out with like the African Americans. I used to hang out with the Mexicans, and they used to have blacks versus Mexicans. You remember that?
Yeah. And Tongans too.
Man, no, you can't play with them Tongans. It was overkill. Even if it was just two versus the whole, it was game over.
Yeah.
But I used to hang out with my Mexicans, and then I just see like all the African Americans just walking down, and they'd be like, "Yo, Adam, you might want to leave." And I swear to God, I'm not lying. I was there trying to be the peacemaker. And both sides, if they watch it, they'll know. They'll let him leave. Like, both sides telling me, like, "Hey, this ain't your fight." But like, nah, bro, I'm, I kind of look like both y'all. Like, I'm like, why we got it? Why? It's just interesting. You got to change the language, because these languages causing wars between people that we should be together. We some strong people. If we unite, we deadly.
Man. I feel like it all has come down to title and image, like
title and image.
It's just like everybody, like,
it's true.
Everybody looking for a title, and for you to get that title, you got to move, like, you got to have a certain image to get a title, so you got to have the chains, and you got to have all these things to be like the boss. Like, the boss can't come through in flip-flops and a white beater. He can't, because it's like, who is he? Well, like, he not showing us nothing, but it's true. Like, the people that got the titles, they not really who you think they are.
And it's interesting, because all you could look at is they physical, materialistic things, but wealth and abundance comes from within. So that's why, like, with my whole podcast, everybody who I bring upon, I'm trying to find out that inner richness, because everybody has that inner gift, that gold in them that nobody else has to offer. So I find that very interesting. So if you guys are watching, rich people and successful people, don't measure success based upon what they think is success. Base it upon what you think is success.
Success comes from the inside, or wealth, I would say. Like, I feel like we should base wealth and success or stability on morals and values and characteristics. If you're moving with love, if you are or if you are like a servant, and not saying that you don't do for yourself, but you do for yourself to become the greatest you, so you can be able to do for the next person. Because it's not like everything we do is not for us. And just like you telling me earlier, like, this podcast isn't like what you say or what you write isn't just isn't just for you. Like, this is a bigger picture. So I feel like if we looking at it from a bigger picture, bro, it's just like, man, you definitely don't measure it by dollars, because we got the most money that we had ever in the world right now, and it's the most depression, it's the most anxiety, it's the most death.
You hit some good points right there, man. I'm happy to bring that up.
I'm telling you, bro, like it's just that we get so caught up in looking at things that we don't even think for ourselves. So if we see something on Instagram or things like that, it'll take a technology period. Like technology is very advanced. Technology is a good thing to have, you know, but at the same time, it can also limit you. It can cripple you because it's, for instance, it's people that's been living in Oakland for 25 years plus, don't know how to get around Oakland without maps.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I swear to God, I was one of them today. I'm like, I swear to God, God is my witness. I'll be struck by thunder at this moment. I was driving, I was like, what would I do if I didn't have Waze or GPS?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's crazy.
But it's like, how did we get around before? That's the thing. Or people that can't park car without the fucking back camera. You know, it's just like, damn. You gotta be able to think and move for yourself. Like you gotta kind of put things together how we used to get around.
I had made a poem called Artificial Suffering. I posted about a month ago, and it was about artificial intelligence that's causing artificial suffering in our society.
Definitely.
I can go in and in about that, but yeah, man, he's speaking facts, man. He's speaking facts. So with all this technology that we have, my best advice is use it to a point where you're not dumbing yourself down.
Right.
Because I've heard that people are using AI, chat G, whatever it's called, to like create their poems, create their music, everything is being done by a system, which is cool, but like, why not learn how to fish? Why be given a fish?
Right.
When you can learn how to fish. That's why with this whole YouTube stuff, I wanted to start from the ground up. Like, I didn't want no one to teach me how to do anything, like buying all these gadgets and learning how to edit. I swear, like, man, it was a mission, but it was the humility that it gave me, which you brought up early. Like, I was humble because beautiful things take time.
It do. That's a process.
Amen. So I'm gonna move on to my topic. So I just want to say thank you, Savon, for answering those questions, because man, it got me feeling good, man. Some good information. So my topic number 1 is mind versus matter. So I just want to say what that means to me. It might be a little hard to break it down because I didn't even think about it. It's been a while, but as you guys can see, this is my opinion. Everything starts in the mind, or it just starts in your heart, but it starts from within.
Yeah.
And we are what gives it physical matter. So if you're focusing on something, that thing is going to physically manifest. But this can mean different things in many ways. But like, we are consistently battling mind and matter every day, and we can't even tell the difference between them. It's like, for example, like our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So the reason why I'm highlighting this is because at our age, just being young, we're creating a dangerous cycle, like not even knowing, like just with our thoughts and stuff like that, and what society's telling us. Like, media is literally giving you things and it's going into your mind, and you're creating that into physical matter, and that physical matter could be depression, anxiety, everything Savon brought up earlier. So yeah, what you think about mind versus matter? Like
you said, it starts from within, which we already touched on. The mind controls your whole entire being. Like what you think, how you feel about yourself is really what you're putting out to the universe, and it's going to give it back to you. So I feel like the mind is the strongest thing. It's the most powerful thing. That's the wealthiest part.
Like the wealthiest part, yeah.
If you have a rich mind, like when you actually get money, you'll actually be satisfied with money. Like you don't know how to spend it. Like you'll be happy. A lot of people that don't have a mind and got money, like we say, they depressed. They killing themselves.
Killing their family members too. Like, I be seeing people killing their, like, that's how depressed it can be. You have everything you need.
You got supposedly. Because mind over matter, like you say, the thing, like we look at, because the things that quote unquote matter is success and you having money, you be a man being a provider, or even a woman being a provider. She might not have no dude or whatnot, so she feel like she got to provide for herself. So it's like, once I get some money, like I'm cool, like I can go out and do whatever I want to do. But it's like those things are like momentarily things, and it goes to show you, like, if you don't have a strong mind, because a strong mind and it really comes from like the love within, knowing yourself. So when you get money, you're able to do stuff with other people that have money, or do for people that don't have money and bring them up with you, I feel like that makes you feel better than to have money and then you just flossing on people. Like,
it's like a frequency. Like, money's a frequency. It takes you to a whole different level, and that's why they say that sometimes, like J. Cole said, you don't want to be rich overnight, because imagine, literally, he says, if you got everything you want overnight, it's like somebody, if God gave you heaven without even you going through life, heaven's not gonna be worth it. You want to go through the hell, you want to go through the jungle. Like in the Quran, I think it says in the Quran, and God says that, like, when those who suffer in this world make it to heaven, God tells them, have you ever tasted suffering? Have you suffered on this earth? They said, nope, we have never suffered, because as soon as they step into heaven, it's worth it. That you don't even think about the regrets. You don't think about, the unfortunate experiences we have on earth. So interesting. So mind versus matter. One more thing I want to ask you. You really brought up something. Is our mind formed by our morals? Like, because a lot of times we forget about morality. We forget about God. We forget about our commandments that was given to us by our Creator, because we like to make loopholes to enjoy this life, but this life is only a facade. And even though it may be pleasurable, but we're losing morality, and I think that's why we're seeing everything we're seeing right now. So
no, it's definitely true. So I mean, we can just look at it from this point, like, it's a higher power, and all we do is split it up by the Bible, Quran, and Buddhism, but we all believe in this higher power, so it's just like, if you believe in something that's greater than you, then you start to understand, like, okay, I'm not doing so well, but for some reason shit always works out for me. I love when that happens. Where is this coming from? And that comes from the mind of, like we talked about, not complaining, working hard, being patient. Understanding that it's a process. Like you said, you don't want to be flat broke and be unhappy, and then you rich tomorrow. In that moment you're like, oh hell yeah, like I'm up. But it's like, what now? But when you're so up, you can go down so fast. Go down immediately. That's crazy. Because you're not up within. You want to be up within. You want to be one with God. You want to be one with earth. So when you are doing things, you're actually enjoying them. It's not like the money that's just like you're enjoying because you have it, so you get to travel. It's like you're actually going to places and appreciating this stuff. Because all the money, like, money is nothing, bro. Money is nothing. I want to give a shout out to us. You just made me forget about Cole. So Cole is someone who I used to work with at the hotel, and yesterday I went to Starbucks and I couldn't even get my drink because some kids got arrested. I swear to God, right in Starbucks, they were fighting, and then it was whatever. They were like fighting. I had to wait about 20 minutes, and I was like, no, I'm finna leave. Like, I came to Starbucks for no reason. So I was going to my car, I ran into my friend named Cole. I'm about to throw his IG up here. Hella funny, but I was going through a lot of obstacles, recently. But he basically just told me that, like, everything you were just talking about, like, everything's in the mind, just be grateful, be humble. Like, man, Cole was, and then the reason why I had to bring this up, because I just found it crazy, because I'm like, why did I come here? Like, I didn't get no coffee, but running into him was crazy, because he reminded me, hey, everything's part of the process. Everything is part of your greatest self. And so, Cole, if you're watching this, man, thank you so much for saying that, bro. For real. That was the reason why you was there, to run into him. Because it be like that, bro. God works like that, bro. God works like that. You be coming for something and leave greater than you know. I didn't even need the coffee, bro. Like, bro, I swear to God, if I had to choose between the coffee, between that conversation, I would have chose that conversation. I even told him, I was like, man, thank you so much for what you said. You don't realize, but it's just crazy, man. People don't realize that what you say has power, man, and it can really change someone's outcome. All right, so my next topic, importance of reflecting and cultivating the right reasoning. So, reasoning. Do you feel that when you were younger, the young Savon, can you say that you had good reasoning? Yeah, of course. Good, because I feel like I didn't know what reasoning was. I just feel like with everything with mind versus matter, I feel like a lot of us don't reflect and we don't have reasoning. Like, we don't want to connect the two, So I just feel like, that'll be something important to bring in, and hopefully whoever's watching, it will spark something in them. And there's also a journal article that I wanted to bring up, which I thought was like mind-boggling, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be surprised, because I was surprised. But I just want to say that on July 27, I believe last year, the Oakland NAACP released a blistering statement condemning the city's inability to protect vulnerable neighborhoods from high-risk criminals from chronic violence.
So we all seen how bad Oakland has been. I had like 5 friends within the last 2 weeks literally had to leave here with their family because they just couldn't deal with Oakland anymore. You know, we all hear it's like cliche, but friends getting killed, you know, the whole 9 yards. It's getting really bad, and we all know that, but it's getting really rough right now. So, and the reason why I found this interesting is because they supposedly said that the NAACP demanded that Oakland proclaim a state of emergency to basically stop this uncontrollable crime. So this was literally done recently, and we haven't been told. I don't know if you've been told. So I guess the numbers are that bad to the point where like government officials are trying to help the residents of Oakland. So the reason why I bring this up is there some hidden agenda? Like, why is Oakland being hit so much? Like, why is like younger generations in Oakland like if you look at the schools, they don't got programs no more. They don't got workshops no more. We used to have poetry workshops. All that got defunded. You know, we used to have the youth center at Skyline. I hope they still have it, but it's just like you got to work so hard to build a good community in these cities. Yeah. So I feel like they.
I mean, I was just talking to my boy about this too. You know, like, so it's just kids having kids. I'm gonna basically start off like
kids having kids.
So we know people when we was younger who didn't have the best upbringing, you know, so they're moving around with trauma and damage and things of that nature, and then they go off and have kids, but they wasn't ever stable.
Wow.
So it's like they wasn't ever fully taken care of. They not even able to really take care of themselves right now, but they go have a kid because that's what you do when you get older. You know, it's like this is all a part of the
cycle.
It's all a part of it, life cycle, whatever you want to call it. You know, like. You get older, you work, you have a kid, you start a family. Hopefully, you get married. Hopefully,
you know. A lot of times it's single parent households that I see, and it's really hard. It's
right. So that's I feel like that's where it's coming from. Just the lack of stability that there is, just out here. Period. Mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, it's a lack of stability. So it's just like people. They care, but it's just like it's only so much as they can do. We don't know, or I'm not even gonna say we don't know where to put our money. We know where to put our money, but we haven't been taught that, or the people in front of us haven't done it. So it's just like, since I haven't had this money before, or since I haven't done this, like we use that excuse to go blow money, or we use excuses to go kill because that's all we know. So we kind of really are just stuck in a cycle, you know.
I like how you narrowed it down. I feel like the city don't really talk about that. When was the last time you heard the news talk about them trying to help single household families, or like them trying to prevent people from being single household families? Because I feel like with what we're seeing, like families who split up will have more governmental support. That's just my opinion. It's a very sensitive topic, but I just feel like it's very tricky. Like, it's very interesting that like the biggest threat to the African American family, or just brown family in general, is splitting up the family. Splitting up the mother and father, because what happens then? The kids have no guidance. They don't have a father to look up to. So yeah, he can go into this deep loophole, man.
You need both sides, bro, because you need the female or the woman side of it is teach you emotional intelligence, you know, to actually be okay to cry or to feel a certain type of way. And then being a man, you know, to provide, to be strong, you know, to understand there's a process, you know, so you may have some up and downs, but to keep pushing. Gonna teach you those morals and those values, teach you about, you know, the higher power, you know, your God, you know, because I'm a man of God, of course, you know, but I don't like to just throw that on people all the time, you know, because there's some people out here that don't believe in God who are great people, and there's some people out here that believe in God who are bad people, you know. So I don't even be trying to like, oh, you need God, like God, like we talked about, God is love, so it's just how you move, you know, like knowing if you can just simply look at, I should just be more loving, that's going to just make you into a better person, you know. But it's not that. And like you said, the news don't talk about none of course you know, but it's just like Instagram. What do you see on Instagram? You know, like a war between men and women, basically. So it's like, and that's what everybody is watching, Instagram. I don't watch news at all. I will get up on my phone in the morning, I go straight to Instagram. you know, but I understand, like, I know what I'm doing, you know, but some people probably not even understand, like, what they do in the morning, like,
or understand the influence that is put into your mind.
Yeah, because I also get up in the morning and I meditate and I pray, you know, so I actually have, like, a routine in the morning.
Some cleansing, the way to cleanse yourself.
Yeah, because I can look, but I know all this shit is, like, fake at the end of the day, you know, like, the stuff that people show, like, you know, it's not really what they want. It's a lot of people hiding in plain sight, you know, and it's because they don't feel the love. It's because they don't feel the trust. So it's just like, I shouldn't say nothing, you know. Nobody care about me anyway. So it's like, who do I talk to, you know? And it's just that type of stuff going on, bro. So I feel like that's what's really breaking everything apart. And
you kind of made me just realize, have a good circle of friends that kind of resemble, you know, what you want in your life. Because when I was growing up, I had really good friends, but there were certain friends I hanged out with, like, you know, certain small. That I'm like, I wish I didn't, you know, adopt a couple traits, you know what I'm saying? It's so easy to adopt people's trauma and adopt. So I'm really happy you brought that up, because man, I just feel like it's so hard to tackle trauma, because trauma is never, I don't know, trauma is part of humanity. It's what makes us who we are, but there has to be a way to channel this trauma to not have it reflect our city. Because it's Oakland's a very beautiful city, but I've seen so many people come and go. And now when I go to Oakland, like, whenever I walk down the street, I'm like, that's where so-and-so died. That's where so-and-so got killed. And back then, these people like, oh, that's where so-and-so used to hang out at. Oh, that's where so-and-so used to hoop at. So now it's just, our city is representing trauma. Yeah,
it is. And it's a lot of trauma bonding. You know, it's not like, it's not like taking accountability, you know. It's like, I mean, the easiest thing for me to touch on is, because I always see this, people talk about relationships, you know, how a man made a woman feel this way, or a woman made a man feel this way, and we can talk about all of the things a woman did between us, you know, that went wrong and how they were wrong. But you don't ever see people holding themselves accountable, saying that, you know, I actually was wrong in this situation, you know. Like, I didn't pass up a lot of good women because I'm used to a certain type, because I have trauma, you know. Like, we're not having that type of conversation. We're more of so just like point a finger at everybody, but we're not looking in the mirror. You gotta look in the mirror, you know.
Like Michael Jackson said, look a man in the mirror. For like that whole song I always play, I ain't gonna lie, in the morning, because I tell myself to this day, just because I'm having troubles like finding out who I am. To this day I don't know who I am. I'm just a person, but I want to be something more meaningful, you know. And I appreciate talking to people like you, because it reminds me that, man, we got beautiful stories, man. Every single individual walking this earth has a story that God already knew was gonna, like, before he was even born, God knew what he was gonna go through. He knew the trauma he was gonna have. So at the end of the day, I just feel like everything is in the control of God, and you know, and I feel like maybe like at the end of the day, I feel like maybe we just gotta leave it to him, and maybe that's what's wrong with our society. Maybe we're trying to like have other people play the role of God, such as our government.
No, for sure.
So it's very sensitive to say that. Like, I don't hate my government. I'm happy. I'm happy to be an Arab American, and I'm happy to have all these freedoms and resources. But there's certain freedoms that we don't have that other people have. Yeah. And these freedoms that I'm referring to are fundamental freedoms. And
so what do you mean by the fundamental freedoms?
So I just feel like, man, it's like, first off, I want to go to school. Like, I'm at Cal State East Bay. They're making it so expensive for me to go to school. Like, why do I got to pay $3,000 per semester when there's people you know, who belong to certain families where they can get they got thousands of dollars. They can go wherever they want. Like, that, because he even asked me, like, you know, what motivated my whole podcast. I was literally so depressed I couldn't go to school. Like, I love school. Like, I was so involved. When I graduated from Merritt, when I transferred, went to East Bay, and I'm like, damn, I was just like out of my pocket, bro. And I'm like, how am I gonna pay my car note? How am I gonna pay rent? So everything just started hitting me, and I was like, you know what, I don't need education anymore. So that's an example. It's just like these fundamental things that we need, such as education, to expand our minds, to network, we're being shut off, so those networks can be given to other people. But that's just my opinion. I don't, you know,
but it's true though. And like you said, a network, we need education, and you got to think about what you come across at school. So yes, you're learning, but then you come across like-minded people. So that's a connection right there that y'all possibly could say F school and go build something.
I heard a lot of stories like that. I forgot who it was, but I think Elon Musk was one of them, or somebody who they literally dropped out. They found somebody, they invested in.
I mean, right now I feel like that's what it's not all about, but a lot is connections. You know, you knowing the right person, and them, if you're a genuine person that they feel like they can trust, or they have a good mind, you like-minded, or something that put you on.
Like attracts like, so just be a likable person, and then eventually it'll come to you. That's why I'm trying to be who I am. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to resemble a good symbol, so people can see that. And you know, at the end of the day, it's not about going anywhere. It's just about giving a message and highlighting people's stories. And I'm just happy, you know, you brought up all these beautiful points, man, because you never know what people are going through, and your story can really resonate with other people. You feel me?
It can help.
So I just want to say thank you so much, Savon, for coming. I appreciate it, man. And if y'all need anything, let me know. I'm going to throw my boy IG right here, so follow my boy. Man, I just want to say that, you know, the theme of this whole podcast is don't be ashamed of your story, and don't be afraid of telling your story to other people, because sometimes all it takes to tell your story, and boom, a flower can be grown. Any last words you want to say before?
I appreciate you, bro. You know, we've been trying to link it up.
I know we have, but God makes sure everything happens in good time. So I'm just happy you made it here safe and sound. And
yes, sir.
God bless your family. God bless your brother.
Same
you know, I hope all goes well.
Yeah.
Farewell, y'all. Stay blessed, man.